So I spent last night at Noisebridge working on the calendar case. I ended up having to redo part of the calendar case, and I'll show you why. So the first calendar case I made, it was a 4x9 piece, and I hadn't realized that the frame mat that they use to cut out and border all of the things you see in frames, all the pictures in frames, that is getting cut out to 4x9 exactly. I had originally thought that it was going to be a little bit less than 4x9, but it turned out to be exactly that. So that means that my prints needed to be printed out at 4¼ inch squares, and that also means that the calendar needed to be 4¼ inch by 9¼ inch in order to make sure that the window would be aesthetically like a good seal around the whole thing. So I rebuilt the calendar case last night at Noisebridge. There I did a bunch of laser cutting, and as a part of this redesign, it requires a new kind of rig so that when I go to do the acrylic cementing, it's perfectly aligned, and I'll show you these pieces. The 9¼ inch by 4¼ inch needs to be perfectly centered onto the rest of the calendar pieces, which is still a 9x4 because there's no need to make the whole thing the full size. So, and it's easier to construct because the frame that I've already have built, the frame's all built, and it's built for the 4x9 shape. So if I keep most of it at that size, then I don't have to cut as much foam board. So another thing I learned at Noisebridge was about the kerf on the laser that they have. It's about 0.3 millimeters. And I'll show you kind of these three pieces I have here. The first is with no kerf correction at all. You can see that when I put it inside of the mold, it is very wiggly, and so it's really hard to tell how to fit these together. Then I went and did a 0.4 millimeter compensation, and how I did that was the outer cut is pushed 0.4 millimeters outwards, so the laser is, moved out a little bit so that the edge is exactly where it needs to be. And then the inner cut is 0.4 millimeters inward. So you end up with something that is 0.8 millimeters bigger around all edges. 0.4 millimeters ended up being a little too big, so I switched back to 0.3 millimeters, and that ended up to be a very good size. So then I acrylic cemented these things together with the 0.3 millimeter kerf corrected alignment thing, and clamped it all down, and now I've got my new calendar.